Gracias por continuar con nosotros en Foro Más Latino. Recientemente tuve la oportunidad de entrevistar a un representante de esta organización que se preocupa por el medio ambiente, llamada R20, este grupo de países o de regiones en el planeta quienes están preocupados sobre esto que es el calentamiento global. Aquí le presento parte de esta entrevista. Gracias por estar con nosotros en este programa Foro Más Latino. El día de hoy nos encontramos con el doctor Yu-Fu Chen, quien es parte de esta organización conocida como R20, esta organización que se encarga de proteger el medio ambiente y además de llevar tecnologías, lo que es la energía renovable. Dr. Yu-Fu Chen,
Yes.
thank you very much for this interview. And I would like to start asking you about what is the R20? What is that for? What is the purpose of R20?
Yeah, thank you very much. The R20 is standing for the Regions of Climate Action. The R stands for region. And the 20 is we are founding members, 20 members around the world. The R20 is a global organization founded by the California Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger back in 2011. And we founded this organization is to fight for climate change use action instead of negotiation. So we are looking forward to the negotiation to get very successful, but we have to do something on the ground. This is what the organization about. The R20 headquarters is in Geneva, Switzerland, and we have the field office in Brazil, in China, USA, and Europe. So generally, what we do is from using the three different kind of actions. The first one is regions in action. The second one is technology in action. The third one is finance in action. So these three actions need to work together hand to hand. For the first one, the regions in action. So we need to work with the regional leaders around the world, say it's the governors around the world, and also the mayors around the world. We need to understand the goals for the low carbon development, because without the goals, we really cannot achieve anything. So this is first, the regions in action. And then based on the needs or based on demands of the regional governments, and then we're looking for the technology partners who can have the solution, have the supply, the products, and the technology for the projects demanded by the subnational leaders around the world.
When you're having,
yeah.
I'm sorry for interrupt you.
Yeah.
When you're having those summits, those meetings,
Yes.
what did they tell you, those leaders, for example, in Brazil and Mexico and all around the world? What did they tell you about climate change? Do they believe in climate change? What did they say?
Yes, I think the climate change is well acknowledged by most of the subnational leaders, especially after the Copenhagen Climate Summit. So over 100 head of states gathered together at the Copenhagen Climate Change Summit. I was one of the speakers over there. So I communicated with a lot of subnational leaders that they do have the desire to take the actions, because most of the subnational leaders are well educated, and they understand that the human being has caused a lot of trouble recently, especially with the technology development. We're using the natural resources too quick, too fast. We put the carbon from underground to the atmosphere too fast, and it will change the composition of the atmospheric components. So this caused the climate change, because we have the records to show the temperature is increasing, and we also have the records to show that because of the fossil fuel use, we have to change the CO2 concentration from 250 ppm to right now it's almost 400 ppm. So this is a very rapid increment during the very short 200 years.
Dr. Yu-Fu Chen,
Yes.
when you were working with the former governor Arnold Schwarzenegger, in what projects were you working with him?
Generally, I work with a lot of projects, because we are not a company, we are an organization. So we welcome any technology companies to working with us. If you have the solar water heat projects or products like Westtech, our leading partner, so we will use the products in the region for the project. We have the LED street light manufacturer as our partner, we will use the street light to reduce the energy consumption and to reduce the greenhouse gas emissions. And we also have the waste treatment technology, and we'll fit that into the demand of the subnational leaders. So we're working on many projects, mainly is the renewable energy efficiency, the waste treatment, and other sustainable issues. We also use some policies, solutions, to suggest the subnational leaders to take the action from policy, from technology, from products, and from education, and so forth. Any way can help the action on climate change, we will do. Yeah.
If you can mention a project in the United States where you're working with that, what will be that project here in the United States?
Yeah, actually, yesterday we were at the West Tech solar project, right, very close to here. So in the motel, so we changed the solar water heating system into the water heating system into the solar, where our leading partner West Tech supply the technology and also the products. It works very well. So I think we can see the effect right away. And also in China, West Tech has done a lot of projects as well. And another example, so the Lighting Science Group is our global leaders in the LED street light. And we're working in the street light project. As you can see, a lot of LED street light in the Home Depot and other stores are manufactured by our leading partners. And we also have other partners like Siemens and Philips, our partner as well. And then we also have the financial partner, which is the one I did not mention, which is the finance in action. Because if you have the demand, you have the supply, you have to have the financial system to make sure it works. The project has to get energized by the financial partners. Yeah, thank you.
Doctor, finally, what will be the message for those people that are pessimistic about global climate change? What would you tell them? Because there's people that they don't believe that it's going to happen.
Yeah, I think that there are a lot of limitation for people to understand climate change. I think that we needed to not only worry about ourselves, we needed to worry about our future generations. If you don't believe climate change, you should go to study a lot of papers and publications, and you also need to think why the glaciers is melted today, not a long time ago. So that glacier has been here for millions of years. From our generation, these things have disappeared. Our future generation probably never have the chance to see it. And this will affect a lot of things like the water supply systems and the more tropical storms, the more natural disasters. We have to be responsible for our future generation. If we are well-being as a human being, we have to be responsible for all the future generation, for the entire world, because we only have one world. The world is flat. And we need to work globally and internationally and collaboratively together to fight the global issues like climate change.
What is going to be the next summit, Doctor?
Next summit, we'll have one in Korea in May. Arnold Schwarzenegger will be there, and we'll have another one in China in October, together with the Jiangsu government and the National Development Reform Commission, and as well as the UNIDO, United Nations organization. So we would like to have the theme called Sustainable for All. That means we needed to use the renewable energy to have this solar energy generated everywhere. And for the people, especially the vulnerable group, like in Brazil, 2/3 of the country does not have the grid. They don't have the electricity. They don't have the light that we are seeing today. How to make these people access the life and improve for the life standard as we all enjoy. I think this is the dream we are doing. We need to develop economy. We need to develop a sustainable economy. We need to solve the climate change issues and other environmental issues all together.
Thank you very much, Dr. Yu-Fu Chen. Le agradecemos a este señor Yu-Fu Chen por esta entrevista. Nosotros vamos a una pausa comercial, pero ya regresamos a Foro Más Latino.